The Los Angeles Chargers dominated the New York Jets on Monday Night Football. This game wasn't really close, and a big reason why the Jets lost this game is because they got a poverty offense. And when you got a poverty offense that is going 3-and-out nearly every single drive, you can't get any big plays downfield. It's not a consistent recipe to being able to win games. You see, having a great defense is what you need to win a championship. But you can't win a championship or even be a playoff team in the AFC where your offense is below average at best. The New York Jets, them having a good game on offense is them scoring 20 points. And if that is, your peak performance on offense, you got a lot of problems. The New York Jets, the way they want to win games is by keeping things low scoring, and that's okay. That's a formulaic way to try to win games, but that also involves your offense not turning the football over, which is something that the Jets failed to do tonight. They had 3 fumbles, which the Chargers recovered 2 out of 3 of those, and then 2 of those fumbles led to 14 points, which gave the Chargers more momentum. The New York Jets offense with Zach Wilson at the helm at quarterback is god-awful. He was overthrowing nearly every open wide receiver. During the first half of this game, he was 2 of 8 on throws down the field. He overthrew Garrett Wilson a couple of times. He got 1 wide receiver killed in the middle of the field. The Jets should have traded for Joshua Dobbs. I don't get why they thought going with Zach Wilson for the remainder of the season gave them the best chance to win the game. Who cares about potential? Potential doesn't win you games. It gets you fired. At this point, we know what Zach Wilson is. He's a bottom tier backup quarterback. He's one of the worst backups in the league. Joshua Dobbs would have given the New York Jets a way better chance to win this game than what Zach Wilson did. And the only offense that the Jets have is Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. That's the problem. There's a reason why they attempted to trade for Devontae Adams at the trade deadline. Now, of course, it doesn't help the fact that the offensive line was just as bad as the quarterback play. They gave up 7-8 sacks in this game. The Jets offensively, they don't have enough to make it to the postseason. Anytime they're matched up against one of the better offenses or the better teams in the league, they're going to lose more times than not. Of course, they may be able to pull off an upset or two, like how they did against the Philadelphia Eagles, but that involves your defense playing at an all-world level and you being on the winning end of the turnover battle. It's a blessing anytime the Jets can get in position to make a field goal because they don't get those opportunities too often. And their defense is good enough to shut down most of the offenses that they play. If you take away the 14 points that they gifted the Chargers due to those 2 out of 3 fumbles that LA received, this game could have been a 1-possession matchup at one point. But you see, when you're limited at quarterback, you got a bad offensive coordinator, a bad offensive line, and your 2 best players are a wide receiver and a running back. How many points can your offense consistently generate that's going to give you a realistic chance of being able to win games? If your offense can't give you more than 20 points per game, you're putting your defense at a massive disadvantage. And then when you go 3 of 17 on third down, that means that your defense is on the field for way more plays than what they need to be. And obviously in the fourth quarter, you could see this New York Jets defense get worn out and tired for carrying this damn team on their fucking back. Justin Herbert, he didn't have a great game outside of a couple of big throws, one that he made to Keenan Allen late in this game. The Jets defense did a really good job at getting after Justin Herbert, slowing down the rushing attack, but it just isn't enough when you got a bare bones offense. This offense, even if Aaron Rodgers comes back, isn't really going to be all that improved. Now, of course, it's going to help the fact that you got a competent quarterback back there, and it'll be a lot easier to get the 20, 24 points. But even with Aaron Rodgers coming back, if he's able to play during the regular season from this Achilles injury, how much better are the Jets going to be offensively? It's not like they're going to go from what they are right now to one of the best offenses in the league. They need another wide receiver to pair alongside Garrett Wilson, and they need drastic help on the offensive line. You see, the Jets are a great value brand version of what the Pittsburgh Steelers are right now. I'm pretty sure Jets fans in a heartbeat would take Kenny Pickett over Zach Wilson any day of the week. Now, it's not like Kenny Pickett is all that better than Zach Wilson, but there's a difference between having one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league under center versus one of the worst backups in the NFL underneath center. The LA Chargers are not a great team. Yes, they are now starting to get back on the winning end of things. They finally got to 500, but the only reason they're able to win these games is because they're going up against bad teams. When the Chargers have to go up against a team that's just as talented and also more well coached than them, they end up losing because Brandon Staley is a bad head coach because his defenses are not good. The reason why his defense looks so good tonight is because the front seven was able to be the superstars in this game, and Zach Wilson wasn't good enough to expose the Chargers' bad secondary play. You see, the New York Jets, I get why everybody was so optimistic about this franchise when they traded for Aaron Rodgers. And when Aaron Rodgers went down, we all knew that this pretty much was going to be the end for the New York Jets playoff hopes. Now, of course, they still got the opportunity to backdoor their way and to maybe get in the 6th or 7th seed, but I don't think the Jets are going to be able to finish with a better record than any of the second place teams in the AFC North. There's a possibility that maybe all 4 teams from the AFC North get into the playoffs. Do you really think that the Jets are going to be able to have a better record than the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cleveland Browns, or the Cincinnati Bengals? Can they even have a better record than the Buffalo Bills right now, or any other team that's in contention for the 7th seed? Not with this offense. When you're playing in a conference this tough, that's dominated by the majority of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, having a great defense is only going to get you so far if your offense sucks water through a garden hose. All right? The 3 fumbles obviously didn't help. When you're trying to win with this style of football, turnovers and ball security are key. And Garrett Wilson had a fumble. Zach Wilson had a strip sack by Joey Bosa. Plus, the Chargers also got some assistance on special teams. The way the Chargers won tonight is the way that the New York Jets have to win every single game. They need help from the special teams. They need great defensive performance. And they need their quarterback to make big throws in big situations, which is what Justin Herbert was able to do for the Chargers despite their struggles on offense in this matchup. The poverty offense of the New York Jets is the main reason why they lost this game, and it's the main reason why this team is in a dogfight nearly every single week. They barely were able to beat a struggling New York Giants team with a backup quarterback. So what made you think that they were going to be able to outgun a Chargers team that, even with them having one of the worst coaches in the NFL, that really wasn't going to make a difference when you got one of the worst quarterbacks starting in the league right now? So it's pretty apparent why the Jets lost this game the way they did. This offense stinks. You got a trash quarterback. You got a trash offensive coordinator. You got a trash offensive line. Like, I see why these coaches were up all night long when Aaron Rodgers got injured, because they had so much banking on this dude being able to stay healthy. And when your team's success on offense revolves around a 40-year-old quarterback, you got some major issues, even with him coming back. There's a reason why he got injured. The offensive line set him up to get injured. Let me know how you guys feel about the Chargers' 27-6 win over the New York Jets.